My name is Aiden Rinko, and I'll be telling you your daily news here today with my partner, Ted Masola.
Aiden, it seems that Mike Tyson has been released from prison. What do you think, Aiden? Iron Mike versus Peter McNeely.
Well, I think that Mike Dynamite will tear up the McNeely for sure, and he's going to win that match. In other news, in Coors Field, Denver, the Rockies beat the Mets 11-9 in 14 innings after a very lengthy strike.
I think I'm a Mets fan myself. I might be worried if they don't lead their own group standings right now, but the Supreme Court case has been talking about a certain court case.
In the brand new United States versus Lopez, we can see Alfonso Lopez, a 12th grade high school student, who carried a concealed weapon into his high school. After admitting he had the firearm, he was charged with an unloaded firearm possession on school premises. But the charges were dismissed because federal agents charged him with the Gun-Free School Zones Act of 1990. This act forbids any individual knowingly to possess a firearm at a place that he knows is a school zone. Lopez was found guilty following a bench trial and sentenced to 6 months in prison and 2 years supervised.
That's a bit wild, Aiden. Do you think Lopez's sentence is a bit too soft on him? 6 months in prison and 2 years unsupervised? Well, that isn't necessary for the big picture. It's just how United States versus Lopez questions the Constitution. Is the recent 1990 Gun-Free School Zones Act forbidding individuals from carrying a gun in a school unconstitutional because Congress uses the Commerce Clause to legislate the 1990 Gun-Free School Zones Act?
Well, the minority opinion said that this case lets the Commerce Clause imply the power to regulate activities. The minority, as Justice Stephen Breyer cited, that 3 principles were considered basic to the case. The Commerce Clause implies the power to regulate activities that significantly affect interstate commerce. Rather than considering a single act, the courts must consider the cumulative effect of all similar acts on interstate commerce, and rather than determining whether the regulated activity significantly affected interstate commerce, the court must determine if Congress could have a rational basis.
And that rational basis is whether the courts must evaluate whether selling the firearm is non-economic or economic for the Commerce Clause.
Well, what did the majority opinion say?
The majority opinion in the Rehnquist Court based the possession of a gun as non-economic activity. The Supreme Court concluded that the possession of a gun in a local school zone is not an economic activity that had a substantial effect on interstate commerce. And the law, being a criminal statute, has nothing to do with commerce or any economic activity.
Well, this case is similar to a not-so-old case, Heart of Atlanta Motel Incorporations versus the United States. In this case, the Atlanta Motel refused to accept Black Americans during Title II of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, forbidding racial discrimination by places of public accommodation if affecting commerce, begging the question if Congress exceeded the Commerce Clause powers, depriving public-owned businesses the right to choose their own customers. Whilst the United States v. Lopez proved that Congress' 1990s Gun-Free School Zones Act is unconstitutional since the law has nothing to do with commerce or economic value. The Commerce Clause in Heart of Atlanta Motel Incorporation versus United States had the Commerce Clause extended the anti-discrimination provisions.
So in simple terms, United States versus Lopez disapproves the use of Commerce Clause in the 1990 Gun-Free School Zones Act, while the Commerce Clause extended its own power for anti-discrimination provisions in the Heart of Atlanta Motel?
That is correct, Mr. Mazzola. Well, that is your daily news. Thank you so much for joining us, and I am your host, Aiden Ranko.
My name is Ted Mazzola, and like, subscribe, and follow.